Old Pros are an educational group that work to bring quality stage shows right here to Laguna Woods, and I want to welcome Carol Glenn and Roxanne Kine to our program.
Thank you. Good
Thanks
morning.
for joining us. And we want to talk a little bit. Let's start with Roxanne just for fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Emeritus programs, people signing up for classes and doing that kind of thing. What are you doing here in the Emeritus program?
I teach scene study / acting, so I teach everything that I've learned in acting school.
Okay.
For my 2-year program at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I teach it from beginning to end. It's like little house on the prairie method of teaching. I have students who are professionals who come to my class, and I have newbies, and I teach everything.
Okay.
So they can be better actors.
So it isn't just about, here's how you memorize lines and hit your mark. It's also about understanding, like, okay, what's the writer, what's the screenwriter, what's the playwright trying to say here? What are we trying to get from this? Where are we going, kind of thing, right?
Who the character is.
And the characters are, right.
The background story. There is so much that goes into just performing one little scene. And it's also, the way I teach is very organic. It's, you know, you have to be able to feel it, and you have to be able to do exercises that pertain to your scene that gets that right emotion. And it's about movement. It's everything. It's so big. Acting is so big. Well, to me it is.
Yeah, and I remember hearing back to, you know, when I first started hearing about actors, what's my motivation? But that's a real thing. Like, what does this character want? What is this person really after? What's their goal here? And that drives how they act and what they say and how they say it, right?
Right. For the immediate scene or for the play, it changes. So there is that.
Okay, well, there we go. Interesting. Sounds fun. When are the classes?
When are the classes? I'm starting again in August. It's Wednesdays at 10 a.m. in the morning for an hour and 50 minutes, but we have a lot of fun, especially with improv.
All right, get those Emeritus classes going. And now let's talk about what the Old Pros are doing, and we got some great stuff going on there. You have the Theater of Dreams coming up this Wednesday.
Yes, well, fortunately, I've got some wonderful people to draw from, Roxanne being one of them, and the class there. And I had gone to see what I call the finals, which was their presentations.
Oh, okay.
And so we called some of the people. There were several pieces I would have liked to have included that they weren't going to be here this summer. But of the ones that were, I really got lucky. We have a delightful mix of some monologues, one very impressive monologue. It's more of a scene in itself. And then a fun scene, plus a little fun one to end it up with. And I have our dear Tony Barr, who's been with the Old Pros for years and years, well known for being the best Jolson mimic around.
Really?
And he will be opening up the show.
Okay. So what's it like to know that some of your students are going to now be kind of having a performance, real audience kind of thing? This isn't just homework anymore.
It makes it worthwhile because when they will feel the tension, the nerves, and then finally when you get through it and you can breathe again and you hear the applause, they will know what it's like to be a real actor, and they will be so high the rest of the night because you just do. And I want to mention that was David Mitchell, one of the students of my class, who wrote that monologue that's kind of heavy. The father,
it's dramatic.
Son,
the father, son, and the burden.
Okay.
Right, and then there's also a scene written by my students that will be performed.
Oh, right, that's
also
the skit, which is a kind of an interesting thing. It starts out one way, and you think you know what's going to happen, and it changes.
I love
which
those
is
little fun twists.
Right, and it's not only that my actors are learning how to act, but some of them are going further and they're becoming the playwright, and it just uses so much of their minds, and the joy from that is just immense.
Right, and kind of creating that structure around a scene and how it works, or beginning, middle, and end, and all the kind of fun stuff.
And like I said, like for the people that keep on coming back, they're like my master class, and I have, and they're now starting to do the other things like writing, and then I have still my beginners, which will play in the scene. So it is just a win-win for everybody.
Now, have you guys been doing Theater for the Dreams for a while? Is this the first attempt at this, or has this been going on for a while in terms of taking the Emeritus class students?
Oh, well, the the emeritus class, I've called a couple of skits from before, but this will be our first annual. Just
Okay.
like with the pub club, we just had our second annual merging with them
Or
for
it's just
a
purely
meeting.
them on this?
And African American Club was our guest club in January. And that's one of the things I really wanted to do, especially coming out of the pandemic, was to work with the other clubs and classes, as the emeritus is. So that's a big focus, is to spread it around and support the other clubs.
Yes. And may I add to that a
Sure.
shameless plug? Please forgive me,
please.
but I'm in the pub club also. I'm one of I'm the membership chair. But I wrote a book and it was published, and it came out last December. And I just won a spot in the Mission Viejo Library Book Festival.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
going to be held on Sunday the 30th at the Norman P. Murray Center, Community Center.
Sure.
And so I'm really excited about that. And if anybody wants to stop by just to say hello, please do so. I need some
Will you
buzz
be
around
signing?
my-
Will you be signing books as well?
Oh, yeah, of course, but they don't have to buy anything. They just have to come and support me if they want to.
Please. No, so tell me a little about the book. What is it about your kind of career, or?
It is. I've always written. Actors are always writing. You know, it's like they go hand in hand. I wrote a historical novel based on my mother's life. It's fictionalized, but everything that happened in that time period, 1929 to 1949, I did a lot of research and put it in the book. And it takes
Okay.
place in Chile, South America. So it's a very volatile time towards the end of the book, with Nazis coming into the country, Jewish people coming into the country, and then it begins with my mother, who was abandoned as a baby, and I never knew how, but I found
wow.
out about like a foundling wheel, and that's where the book opens, in her abandonment. And she was really a prodigy. She was a pianist. And she doesn't know it because she's passed now, but she did the cover of my book.
Oh, what a great tribute
it's called
too.
Small Life.
Well, that's terrific. We'll
Thank
make
you.
sure we get down there. Give us a date again for that.
It is June 30th, 1 to 4 at the Norman P. Murray Community and Senior Center.
All right, folks, make plans for this weekend. Get down there and have some fun.
Yeah. say hello to
And
me.
during the week,
Yes, and
On
Wednesday. I don't
Wednesday.
want to forget. Yeah, let's put that up one more time. It's
Okay.
free for members, and non-members are $5, but it should be really fun, right? Theater of Dreams.
yes, and as we say, come for the wine and stay for the show. Both are really good.
It sounds like it's going to be some great events, and we really look forward to hearing about that. And hopefully this becomes the second annual and the third annual as you
Yes.
guys go
Hope so.
along. Old Pros, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Michael.
much.
When we come back, we will preview our Monday movie. Stay with us.